ഹലോ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, അസ്സലാമു അലൈക്കും. എൻവയോൺമെൻറ്റൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗിൽ നിന്നും റിപ്പീറ്റഡായിട്ട് കേരള PSC ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസാണ് ഇന്ന് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. വളരെ ശ്രദ്ധയോടെ കേൾക്കുക. ഓരോ പോയിൻറ്റും വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണ്. PSC പോയിൻ്റ് ഓഫ് വ്യൂവിൽ ചോദിക്കാൻ ചാൻസ് ഉള്ള ഏരിയാസ് മാത്രമേ കവർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളൂ. സോ നമുക്ക് വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് കടക്കാം.
Repeated multiple choice questions and answers. First question: how the temporary hardness of water is removed? See the options: by boiling, by lime soda process, by zeolite process, and by aeration. We know that temporary hardness is removed by boiling. Hard waters are undesirable because they may lead to soap consumption, feeling rough while bathing, making food tasteless, causing corrosion, friction losses in pipes, etc. Actually, underground waters are harder than surface water, and hardness of water can be measured by EDTA method. Here, this temporary hardness is caused due to the presence of calcium and magnesium carbonates and bicarbonates. Calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate causes this temporary hardness, and this can be removed by boiling. And what is permanent hardness? Permanent hardness is caused due to the presence of calcium and magnesium sulfates or chlorides or nitrates. This permanent hardness can be removed by lime soda process, zeolite process. Here option B and option C can be used for the removal of permanent hardness. And this aeration is to remove the smell and odor. It's not the removal process of hardness. Now we can go to the next question. In the case of surface water, a pH range of 6 to 8, which is the most suitable coagulant. Option A, alum. Option B, quicklime. Option C, lime. And option D, potassium permanganate. And the answer is option A, alum. Alum is commonly used coagulant. We can go to the next question. Pressure filters are used for option A, urban water supply. Option B, rural water supply. Option C, swimming pools. And option D, groundwater. Pressure filters are used for swimming pools. Next question. Fourth question. If the expected turbidity of water is more than 5000 parts per billion, the turbidimeter used for analysis is option A, Jackson turbidimeter. Option B, Hellige turbidimeter. Option C, Bailey's turbidimeter. And option D, any one of these. Turbidity is measured in silica scale, and it is the measure of passage of light through water. Water is said to be turbid when it contains visible matter in suspension. Turbidity may be determined by turbidity content in parts per billion. Here, the turbidity, any turbidity greater than 50 parts per billion, can be measured using Jackson turbidimeter. So, Jackson turbidimeter can be used for 5000 parts per billion, and the turbidity less than 50 parts per million, 50 parts per million, can be measured using Bailey's turbidimeter. So these are all about turbidity test. Now we can move to the next question. MPN is, and we all know that MPN is most probable number. Option B is false. MPN is most probable number. Next question. The standard unit of color of water is that which is produced by 1 milligram of dash dissolved in 1 liter of distilled water. Option A, finely divided silica. And option B, platinum cobalt. Option C, potassium permanganate. And option D, formazine. we all know that the standard unit of color of water can be determined by platinum cobalt scale. So here the answer is option B, platinum cobalt. The standard unit of color of water is that which is produced by 1 milligram of platinum cobalt dissolved in 1 liter of distilled water. Turbidity can be determined by silica, but color can be determined by platinum cobalt. So here the answer is option B. The next question. The average domestic demand of water supply for an Indian city is option A 135 LPCD, option B 275 LPCD, option D 400 LPCD, and option D 750 LPCD. For answering this question, we have to know per capita demand. Quantity of water required per person per area per day throughout the year in a city or town is known as liter per capita per day, that is LPCD. Per capita demand is equal to total yearly water required to the city in liters divided by 365 into design population, that is 270 LPCD for an Indian city. According to IS 1172-1963, water consumption under normal conditions for domestic supply, it is 135 LPCD. Here they are asking about domestic demand of water. So for domestic supply, it is 135 LPCD. Domestic supply means homes, hostels, schools, etc. That is 50%. We know that the total liter per capita demand is 270 LPCD. So it's 50%. That is 135 LPCD is for domestic water supply. Now for industrial purpose, it is 50 LPCD, 50. That is 25% of 270. For demand for public users, it is 10 LPCD, that is 5% of 270. For fire demand, commercial and institutional purpose, it is 20 LPCD, that is 5 to 10% of 270. Losses in waste and thefts is 55 LPCD. Such a large amount is waste as theft and wastage. So total per capita demand is 270. Our domestic demand is 135 LPCD. For industrial purpose, it is 50 LPCD. For fire demand, commercial and institutional purpose, it is 20 LPCD. These are all about water demand, that is per capita demand. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. The product of OH plus ions and OH minus ions in a strong alkali at 25 degrees Celsius is 10 power minus 14. We know that the product of OH plus ions and OH minus ions are 10 power minus 14. And we can move to the next question. Which one of the following is not turbidity test on water? Jackson's turbidometer, Bailey's turbidometer, nephelometer, and the Hardness method. Jackson turbidimeter, Bailey's turbidimeter, and nephelometer are used for the turbidity test of water. Option D is the answer. It is not used in the turbidity test of water. The Hardness method. 10th question. Efficiency of sedimentation tank for a given discharge can be increased by option A, decreasing the depth of tank, option B, increasing the depth of tank, option C, increasing the surface area of tank, and option D, decreasing the surface area of tank. Efficiency of sedimentation tank can be increased by increasing the surface area of the tank. If the surface area is more, the sedimentation efficiency will also be more. So option C is the answer. Efficiency of sedimentation tank for a given discharge can be increased by increasing the surface area of tank. Option C is the answer. 11th question. The self-cleansing velocity normally adopted for sewers is option A 0.1 meter per second, option B 0.2 meter per second, option C 0.4 meter per second, and option D 0.85 meter per second. We know that self-cleansing velocity normally adopted for sewers is 0.85 meter per second. In the design of sewers, the main consideration is the internal diameter of the sewer should not be less than 15 centimeter and the self-cleansing velocity should not be less than 0.85 meter per second. So option D is the answer. 12th question. The best system of plumbing of drainage work in building is option A, one pipe system, option B, two pipe system, option C, single stack system, and option D, partially ventilated single stack system. We know that the best system for plumbing of drainage work in building is two pipe system. There are mainly two types of plumbing systems for building drainage. First one pipe system. The system in which only one pipe is provided to collect both the fouled soil waste as well as unfouled waste from the building is known as one pipe system. In one pipe system of plumbing, wastewater is carried away from kitchens, wash basins, bathrooms, water closets, etc. The next system is two pipe system. The system in which two pipes are provided, one for collecting the unfouled water from the kitchens, bathrooms, house washings, rainwater, etc. and the other for collecting soil waste is called two pipe system. The system is mostly used in India and it is the best system of plumbing of drainage work in building. Now next question. The cross section recommended for separate system of sewage is option A, circular, option B, edge shaped, option C, rectangular, option D, none of these. The process of collecting and delivering the sewage to the disposal point, it is called sewerage. There are three systems of sewerage. One, combined system. Second one, separate system. And third one, partially separate system. A combined system, only one set of sewers are laid for carrying sanitary sewage and stormwater. This system is most suitable for locality which has narrow streets. The maintenance cost of this system is very small. So, it also provides automatic flushing of sewers. In separate system, two sets of sewers are required, one for carrying the sanitary sewage and the other for carrying the stormwater. This separate system is most suitable for rocky areas because laying of two small sewers is easier than one large sewer. It is also suitable when the topography is flat, necessitating deep excavation for combined sewers. In partially separate system, a small portion of stormwater is allowed to enter in the sanitary sewage within permissible limits and the remaining stormwater flows in separate set of sewers. This system is suitable by areas where stormwater is small in quantity due to scarcity of rainfall. Here, our question is that the cross section recommended for separate system of sewage is, it is circular. For separate system of sewage, the cross section recommended is circular, and for combined system of sewage, the cross section recommended is edge-shaped. So these are all about the 13th question. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following is not groundwater? Option A, rooftop water stored in underground tank. Option B, water from natural springs. Option C, water from infiltration galleries. Option D, water from riverside radial collector wells. There are two types of sources of water: surface sources, subsurface sources, or groundwater sources. What are the surface sources? The surface sources in which water flows over the earth's surface. Here rivers, lakes, streams, natural ponds, impounded or storage reservoirs, all are surface sources. So the water stored on the rooftop is considered as surface sources of water, whether it can be underground or reservoir or storage tank, etc. Surface water have suspended impurities, hence not considered safe for water supply without necessary treatment. That is why it is considered as surface source of water. Here, our answer is option A, because rooftop water stored in underground tank is considered as surface water because it cannot be used for drinking purpose unless it is properly treated. What is the subsurface or what is a groundwater? These are the supply water from below the earth's surface. For example, springs, infiltration galleries, wells, and porous pipe galleries, which is pure but may have some hardness. Here, springs are natural outflow of water finally reaches to Earth's surface. Springs discharges cold water due to the presence of sulfur. Gravity springs, which is due to exposed water table. Surface spring is formed due to aquifer is exposed in a valley against vertical cut. Shallow spring, water collected by forming reservoirs. Next case is here artesian or deep-seated spring. In artesian spring, water flows out automatically through two impervious strata. Option C from infiltration. What is infiltration galleries? Infiltration galleries are the horizontal tunnels constructed at shallow depths along the banks of rivers to intercept the groundwater table. These are most useful in dry season. The quantity of water available from these depends upon yield of source, that is, rate of water percolate, nature of soil, size of gallery, etc. So these are all about sources of water. So we can move to the next question. Rainwater of the locality which flows in sewer is called option A stormwater, option B subsoil water, option C sewage, option D combined sewage. Rainwater of the locality which flows in sewer is called stormwater, and sewage is the waste coming from the kitchens. Combined sewage is surface plus stormwater sewage. 16th question. According to the recommendation of WHO, the pH value of domestic water should be option A 1 to 3.5, option B 4 to 7, option C 7 to 8.5, option D 7 to 10. And the answer is option C 7 to 8.5. According to the recommendation of WHO, the pH value of domestic water should be 7 to 8.5. 17th question. The traps which are provided at different places in the drain pipes are option A gully traps, option B intercepting traps, option C anti-dehabs, and option D anti-siphon traps. What is a trap? A depression or blunt provided in a drainage system which is always full of water to prevent the entry of foul gases in the atmosphere is known as trap. A trap prevents the entry of foul gases in the atmosphere, but it allows the sewage to flow through it. A good trap should provide an adequate water seal at all times. It should be made of non-absorbent material and should have self-cleansing velocity. Option A is the answer. Gully trap. What is anti-siphonage pipe? It is a pipe installed in the house or building drainage to preserve the water seal of a trap. It maintains proper ventilation and does not allow siphon action. Now one more term, that is vent pipe. Vent pipe is installed for ventilation purpose. This pipe should be 1 meter above the roof level. Now let's move to the next question. Alignment of sewer line is started from option A the outfall, option B the height point, option C the tail point, and option D the last point. Alignment of sewer line is started from the outfall. Option A is the answer. Let's move to the next question. The drop manholes are provided in a sewerage system when there is option A change in alignment of sewer line, option B change in size of sewers, option C change in the elevation of ground level, and option D change from gravity system to pressure system. The drop manholes are provided in a sewerage system when there is a change in elevation of ground level. Option C is the answer. Now let us discuss about the manhole. Manhole is an opening in a sewer line to provide access for a man for the purpose of inspection and cleaning of sewer. The manholes are generally located at all changes of direction, at all changes of gradients, and all junctions of main and branch sewers. The maximum distance between manholes for large sewers should be 300 meters. The essential part of a manhole are a working chamber, an access shaft, cover and steps of iron. The lower portion of a manhole is called a working chamber. The minimum diameter of a manhole cover should be 50 centimeter. These are all about manholes, and here the answer is option C. Drop manholes are provided where there is a change in elevation of ground level. Now let us move to the next question. If A is the catchment area in kilometer square and lambda is a constant, then Dickens formula to calculate the peak discharge QP is given by option A, QP is equal to lambda A raised to 0.075. Option B, QP is equal to lambda A raised to 0.75. Option C, QP is equal to lambda A raised to 1.75. And option D, QP is equal to lambda A raised to 2.75. The answer is option B, QP is equal to lambda A raised to 0.75. Dickens formula, Q is equal to C A raised to 3 by 4. Here lambda is used as the constant, so lambda A raised to 3 by 4. That is Dickens formula. And what is Rives formula? Q is equal to C A raised to 2 by 3. Then Fanning's formula, the quantity of storm water in liters per second is given by Q is equal to C A raised to 5 by 6. Now let us move to the next question. The minimum velocity which will prevent the silting of particles in sewers is option A, non-soaring velocity, option B, self-cleansing velocity, option C, soaring velocity, and option D, none of these. The minimum velocity which will prevent the silting of particles in sewers is known as self-cleansing velocity. The self-cleaning velocity recommended for Indian conditions in order to prevent setting down of sewage at the bottom or the sides of a large sewer is 0.75 meter per second. The slope of the sewer line should be in the direction of the slope of the ground. It may be noted that larger the size of the sewer, the higher is the velocity of flow. Therefore, larger sewers should be laid at flatter slopes. The gradient should be such that the velocity of flow should not become too high or too low and should be within the permissible limit. The internal diameter of the sewer should not be less than 15 centimeter. The small sewers require greater care as compared to larger sewers. The velocity which causes both floating and heavy solids to be transported easily with flow, which is called self-cleansing velocity. We can move to the next question. In public water supply project, the coagulation is to be adopted when the turbidity of water exceeds option A, 40 parts per billion, option B, 10 parts per million, option C, 50 parts per million, and option D, 100 parts per million. The answer is option A, 40 parts per billion. In public water supply project, the coagulation is to be adopted when turbidity of water exceeds 40 parts per million. The acceptable turbidity range, that is the permissible limits of turbidity in drinking water, is 5 to 10 parts per million. And the acceptable permissible limit for color is 10 to 20 parts per million. And the acceptable permissible limit for temperature is 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. All these three to be remembered carefully. Acceptable permissible limit for turbidity is 5 to 10 parts per million in the drinking water. And if it is color, it is 10 to 20 parts per million. And for temperature, it is 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. Let's move to the next question. The system of layout of distribution pipe, one main supply from which submains are taken, is known as option A, radial method, option B, circular method, option C, grid iron method, and option D, tree system. The answer is option D, tree system. System of layout of distribution pipe, one main supply from which submains are taken, is known as tree system or dead end system. The system of distributing water efficiently to the customers is known as water distribution system. In dead end system, there is only one main supply pipe. A number of submain pipes are taken out from it. Each submain is divided into many branch pipes called laterals. From laterals, the service connections are given to the consumers. What is a gridiron method? This system is an improvement over the dead-end system. In this system, the mains, submains and branches are interconnected with each other. And what is ring or circular method? The system is adopted in well-planned cities only. In this system, each city is divided into square or circular blocks. The water mains are laid around all the four sides of the square around the circle, and the branches, submains, etc. are laid along the inner roads. What is the radial system of water distribution? This system is just opposite to the ring system. That is, water flows towards outer periphery from one point. Let's move to the next question. A major disadvantage of intermittent system of supply of water is: option A, bigger pipe and pumps are used. Option B, more number of valves required. Option C, consumers should store water. Option D, infiltration of impurities may occur through leaky joints. And the answer is option C, consumers should store water. A major disadvantage of intermittent system of water supply is consumers should store water. I have explained about different system of water supply in the earlier videos. Please watch the other videos if you want detailed knowledge about it. And we are moving to the next question. An infiltration gallery is a: option A, tube well. Option B, artesian well. Option C, vertical well with arms. Option D, horizontal well. An infiltration gallery is a horizontal well. Actually, infiltration galleries are the horizontal tunnels constructed at shallow depths along the banks of river to intercept the groundwater table. These are most useful in dry seasons. The quantity of water available from this depends upon the yield of source. Next question. Sanitary sewage is also known as: option A, stormwater flow. Option B, domestic flow. Option C, dry weather flow. And option D, combined sewage flow. Sanitary sewage is also known as dry weather flow. So option C is the answer. Next question. The growth of algae is useful in: option A, sedimentation tank. Option B, slow sand filter. Option C, oxidation pond. And option D, sludge digestion tank. The growth of algae is useful in oxidation pond. Option C is the answer. Next question. The first stage on water treatment is: option A, sedimentation. Option B, filtration. Option C, disinfection. And option D, coagulation and mixing. The water treatment includes many steps. The first stage is screening, the process of removing large sized particles. That is the screening. And the velocity of flow should not be greater than 0.75 to 1 meter per second. The first stage, it also includes sedimentation. So particles settle down as a result of the action of gravity and forces. Settlement of particles directly proportional to temperature. The third step is coagulation. Sedimentation aided with coagulation. Certain chemical compounds called coagulants are added to water. They absorb colloidal impurities and form flocculant, precipitate called floc. These flocs are settled down due to gravity. Coagulation is necessary when turbidity is greater than 40 to 45 parts per million. And important coagulants are alum or aluminum sulfate, copperas or ferrous sulfate, etc. Then the next stage here coming is filtration. Filtration is the process of purifying water by passing through a bed of sand or other fine granular material. It should be free from clay, loam, lime and organic matter. It should not lose weight more than 5% when placed in hydrochloric acid for 24 hours. And we know that there are two types of filters: slow sand filters and rapid sand filters. So these are all used methods in water treatment. Also, pressure filters are used in the case of swimming pools. Here the rate of filtration is 6,000 to 15,000 liter per hour per meter square. These are just like small rapid sand filters placed in closed steel vessel, cylindrical in shape. And the last step here coming is disinfection. The process of killing pathogenic bacteria from water and making it safe to public use is called disinfection. Most commonly used disinfectant for drinking water throughout the world is chlorine. The process of applying chlorine or chlorine compounds in small quantity of water to disinfect is known as chlorination. So these are all about water treatments, and here sedimentation is the first stage in the treatment. Now let's move to the next question. Disappearance of pink color of water of a well due to K-4 indicates that water contains option A acidity, option B turbidity, option C alkalinity, and option D organic matter. The disappearance of pink color of water of a well due to potassium permanganate indicates that the water contains organic matter. If organic matter is present in the water, the pink color of potassium permanganate is disappeared due to action with this organic matter. So, option D is the answer. The last question. Zeolite is option A naturally occurring salt, option B hydrated silica, option C hydrated alumina silicate, and option D dehydrated calcium silicate. Zeolite is hydrated alumina silicate. Zeolite is also known as base exchange or cation exchange process. It is used for the removal of permanent hardness of water. There are two methods for removing the permanent hardness of water. One is zeolite process and the other is lime soda process. If you are watching the channel first time, please subscribe the channel, click the bell button so that you will get notification of new videos and prepare well for the coming exams. If you need to discuss special topics, please write below in the comment box and give me your valuable suggestion.